off. So right now here to talk about defensive coordinator philosophy from the University of Michigan is Don Brown.
What an honor. You can tell by the gray hair I've been doing this for a while. Obviously just completed our first year at Michigan. Got a number of coaches that are with me from the staff. Would you guys please stand and be recognized? Get up, Joe. Obviously, came from Boston College after 3 years there. Went to work for Coach Harbaugh about a year ago, right now, actually, in January. And hit the ground running and was in an interesting scenario because, you know, I inherited a really strong group of players that had some success. So you're going in with the mindset that, hey, this is how we're going to do things, okay? Well, the good thing is I had a very competent defensive staff. Our defensive line coach, Greg Madison, had been the coordinator there a couple of years back. And Mike Zordich coaches our corners. And I brought in Brian Smith to coach our safeties, and Chris Partridge worked with me with the linebackers. So I had a great group of guys. And before you're going to get anything done, guys, you got to get your own room in order. And defensively, you all got to be pulling from the same rope. You can all have ideas, and you can have great, thoughts and core values and all those things. But at the end of the day, it's got to be a singleness of purpose. And I think that's kind of what happened. Were we perfect this year? No. Okay? Did we have a really solid year defensively? I would say yes. Dalvin Cook kind of ruined my New Year's Eve. But that's not the first time he's done that to me. I had to deal with him at Boston College. I thought I was having a heart attack 2 years ago when he turned the corner on us one time. But our guys, we got some things done. And really, why am I putting this up? I want to highlight the things that I think are really important, okay? Scoring defense, obviously, is important, okay? We gave up 14 points a game. It was first in our conference, second nationally. We gave up 1.69 touchdowns per game, and, that's tied for first conference and tied for third nationally. Third quarter defense, 2.8. I'm not sure that's a big one, but to us it is, and I'll tell you why. We push for the third quarter shutout. That's what we're looking for. We want to come out of the locker room, have made good quality adjustments, and then our guys go out and execute them. So that's a big deal to us. And sometimes you wonder if guys are getting it. And I remember one game in particular, when we're coming out, they're talking about it amongst each other, and then you kind of know they're getting it. So big one there. Total defense, I'm not sure a measure of yards is all that important, but obviously we ended up, in pretty good shape. Second there, opponent yards per play. This is where I think it gets important. Your run game deal, okay? You got to stand for something, okay? And you got to be able and you got to be willing to say, you're not doing this. Now, I'm not saying we're perfect and we're going to always get that done, but you've got to put your stamp on it and say our core value is we're not going to let you run the football. And when you do that, you have to commit numbers. So, I'll give you an example. You get into two doubles formation, which is double twins, and you come out and you're looking at a five-man box. That's not committing to stopping the run. It's not committing to stopping the run. You may be trying to 50-50 it, but you're not committing to stopping the run. You know, and that's an area where I'm a big believer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got that Norwich degree. I'm not that smart, but 6 won more than in 5. And I should have a shot to stop the run. And that's one of our big beliefs. Passing yards, you know, per game, we were 142. That led the country. But the big one for us that relates to that is third down defense. We were at 21%. And I'm a big believer, you got to spend a lot of time on third down. You just don't show up on third down with the same calls and think you're going to get off the field, because those guys over there are smart. So, you know, our whole thing is to have a 4-down package, have a 3-down package, have an exotic 2-down package, and I'm big on that. Just put the best players on the field that can rush the passer. They may not be the best run defenders. They may not be able to, you know, comprehend the total scheme, but I can put them in on the edge, and I have a good chance that sucker's going to run by the guy that he's lined up on. So, you know, that's one big piece for us, is the third down piece. And 21%, I've never been there before. That's rarefied air. I think we were at 25 last year. First downs allowed, okay. First, second in the country. TFLs. 121 TFLs. We had 46 sacks. Those are two measures for us that they have to be there on a year-to-year basis. We're looking to create the negative yardage plays. I want you in second and third and long. You know, so we're striving to play the game at times when we dictate on that side of the line of scrimmage. So you have your base ways to play the run. You better have your tempo changes. And we all have our own schemes. And you can't be afraid to change pace. You know, that's just, you know, a big, big piece for me. Okay? Obviously, red zone. We were very good in the red zone. We're third in the country, first in the conference. And, you know, that kind of wraps up, you know, kind of what we're looking for in that perspective, you know, the things that are important. So, you know, the rundown piece is do a great job in the run defense. Obviously, you're minimizing points. We all know how important that piece is. Do a great job on third down. Don't let them hang you out there to dry and be stuck out there. You've got to be able to do that piece. Okay. I'm going to kind of take you through, guys, some of the things that I do with the players, like these are the kinds of things that we talk about. So eyes are the key. When one door closes, another opens. But often we so look at the closed door, we do not see the one which is open. There are great things to come. See right with your eyes, look right, do right. What is that? Would you do me a favor, Ryan, and read that bottom line? He said, opportunity is nowhere. Do you know how many guys I've asked that same question to, and they've said the same thing? And let me tell you guys, there's a lot of great coaches. You know what I do? I take all the things that when I'm sitting in these lectures similarly that make sense to me, and they're mine. I take them over. They're not yours anymore. They're mine. So there's the deal. It's opportunity is now here. Okay? So coming in a new deal, I think of Mike McCray, our linebacker, who's got a chance, you know, to be a starter finally. Okay? I think of Ben Gideon, who was kind of mired as a backup, and now he's the guy at middle linebacker. You know, you think of guys like DeMonte Thomas that got their opportunity and made the most of it. So really important piece. But, you know, that's a very common thing. Opportunity is nowhere or opportunity is now here. Take your pick. Okay. I've had this one for a long time. Long time. Every morning in Africa, a gazelle wakes up, it knows that it must run faster than the fastest lion or will be killed. Every morning a lion wakes up, it knows that it must outrun the slowest gazelle or it will starve to death. Doesn't matter whether you're a gazelle or a lion, when the sun comes up, you'd better be running. Great players possess great attitudes. Be ready to play fast and never, ever flinch. There is no such thing as fear. And I'll tell you, if you watch us play, there's sometimes as a DB, you might go like this. Holy shit, there's 90 yards behind me. But we're going to come up and deny any free access. That's our whole thing. But that's what we do every day. That's what we teach. Techniques, fundamentals. That's what we're working on. You got to trust, you got to be comfortable playing close to people, and you got to be able to do it all over the field. That's just me. So we try to build an attitude within our structure that, guess what? One of the core values is attack, attack, attack. That's the mindset I want them to have. Now, are we blitzing every down? No. Do we three-man rush? Answer, no. Never. Okay? Do we four-man rush? Absolutely. A lot. Do we five-man rush? A lot. Do we six-man rush? Yes. Not as much as 5 and 4, but we do six-man rush. Do we seven-man rush? Absolutely. Same deal. But we determine when we do it. It's a mindset. And you got to get them to think along with you. And this is that's what I'm presenting to you. This is whatever you decide it's going to be. Playing defense, this day and age, not an easy deal. Got you spread out all over creation, all that, going fast. Well, what are you going to be? Build wisely. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but the point of this is very simple. So it is with us. We build our lives one day at a time, often putting less than our best into the building. Then with a shock, we realize we have to live in the house that we built. If we could do it over, we'd do it much differently, but we cannot go back. You are the carpenter. Each day you hammer a nail, place a board, erect a wall. Life is a do-it-yourself project, someone has said. Your attitudes and the choices you make today build the house that you live in tomorrow. It's all about the mindset. And that's all we're attacking on a day-to-day basis. And I'm not saying I sit up here every day and go through all these things. That's not what we do. You may one day, bang, you throw, it fits. Throw it in there. The attack, it fits. Throw it in there. It's a whole deal that you're trying to embrace. Sun Tzu. A lot of good quotes from Sun Tzu that kind of relate to football. Just a couple of them that I want to hit you on. Being on the offensive puts you in control and forces the foe to react rather than to act. So, again, what are we selling to the players? We're not on our heels. We're on our toes. And we're attacking. The first blow is as much as 2. I used to do this thing, if you're in a bar fight, but our guys, they don't know what those things are anymore. So we don't talk about that. But we talk about the first blow being as much as 2 and the timing of it. Speed is of the essence in war and winning. Move rapidly, dig deep to the heart of the opponent, and develop a true sense of urgency. You got to get the dudes to play hard. They got to play hard. And they got to want to play. In battle and maneuvering, all armies prefer high ground to low ground. The foundation of your mental high ground is an area of integrity, beliefs, and motivation toward success. Okay. This last one really relates to who we are. Timing is everything. When the strike of the hawk breaks the body of its prey, it's because of timing. The timing is similar to the release of a trigger. So, when we're talking about blitzing, the art of pressure, you just can't say, hey, you got the A gap, you got the B gap, and you got the C gap, and that's what we're doing. There's hedging, pressure on the inside foot, eyeballing the ball, inside foot up, hit it, go. That's a real big piece of learning how to be a pressure team. You're crossing gaps. You're showing A, crossing B. All those things come into play. So we're trying again, as I'm telling you, develop a mindset with the guys. A position with strong relationships is an invincible position. Here's my belief. And I got asked about it mid-year, and I'll just tell you guys, and I mean this sincerely, so if you think I'm being corny, well, it is what it is. You get a chance to coach young people, develop a relationship with these guys. You got to love them. They got to know you care. You got to find a way to reach them. It's really important. I had Carm Koza. I was fortunate. I was a young coach. I don't know. I'm at Yale. Imagine that at Yale. I'm at Yale, and I'm ripping these guys. If they're 6 inches off the mark or whatever, and then he's, hey, make sure they know you love them. Develop, you got to have a relationship with them. Then watch them run through the wall for you. So, I'm big on this. I'm just flat out. I could care less what goes on outside the room. I really could. All I care about is Elise Abase, is he doing a good job in the classroom today as opposed to yesterday? Is Josh Uche getting better? That's what's important. Not all the rest of it. Okay, this is in our wall at Michigan. A key to describing your personal brand identity is to imagine a good friend introducing you to an audience using a descriptive middle name. That middle name should describe your major interest, area of expertise, or your identity. Really important. So, when they talk about a guy, what are they saying? Boy, that guy, he gives you everything he's got. He's got great core values. You're going to get a great day out of him. How about that being your middle name? Just an amazing deal. That's what we got to get to. Get those guys to, you want them here. Maximize them. You want them there. Get their potential. Maximize their potential. That's what we're shooting for. Okay. When you feel most secure, you become most vulnerable to surprise. All of a sudden, hey, coach, I got it. I got it. Or, guess what? I got it. We got Dalvin Cook. We got him. No, you don't. Okay? No, you don't. Don't relax. Cannot compete as individuals against others who are functioning as a team. Obviously, that's what we're looking for. We're looking to have great units that can function. Extraordinary effort generates extraordinary results. Great. And coordinate tactics with strategy. What does that mean? You know, here's the problem. You know, when we're teaching coverage, right? And you got all of a sudden, I got Joe coming in, hey, coach, you got these 7, 8 play actions, you got these third downs, all that. How are you gonna pattern, zone match all those? I don't know. I'm not that smart. But I know I can get my guy to understand how to put his hands on people, how to play press, how to play scooch, where's my help coming from? Those things. So it's the fundamentals that need to coordinate with your tactics that develop your strategy. So, like when people say to me, well, you're a big man free guy. Yeah, but we'll pass them too. We have coverage that lets us do that. And I'm just not a big believer that you can have 27 coverages. And if you challenge your guys, for example, in the spring, to play this close, and then you give them the option, I guarantee you they're going to go up there every time. Now, I'm not saying that's right. That's not what I'm saying here. Because you may be the greatest whiz mechanics teacher of all time. Great. I'm not. But I can coach them up close now. So, that's kind of a, when we're talking about a fundamental or a conceptual issue, that would be one. What leads to failure every time? And by the way, I never say the word lose. I talk about success and failure. That's what I talk about. Don't put that word out there too much. Jealousy. I mean, again, that's my opinion. I'm just giving you my opinion. Jealousy, what must wipe out selfishness and pettiness. I think enough said. There's so much of that with this social media thing. When you get in the room, that's got to go away. It's got to go away. Know-it-all mentality. Here's my big line to them. If anybody knows me, I can be loud. I may be 61, but I can still come at you like a rattlesnake. Okay? So here's my deal. I promise to critique the performance, not the performer. Okay? I don't know where I got that, but I love the line, but I live it. Stay on task. Stay on technique and fundamental. Don't get personal. If you're going to get personal, do it behind closed doors, in my opinion. And again, guys, this is all, I'm just philosophically telling you how we're kind of doing it. Outside influences. Negative perception. They do not know what goes on in our room. I can't stress the room enough. Position coaches have them. Coordinators have them. The head coach has them. Okay? And by the way, I really believe I work for the best head coach in the country. I really believe that. He lets me do my job. He gives me direction if I need it. And he allows me to be creative and expects it. It's great going to work every day there. Off the field, pick the team or pick yourself. Either make good choices or you don't. It's that simple. What directly leads to a lack of success is having a culture that permeates sensitivity. Okay. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Am I right? Men don't bitch. We need our defense to be played by proud men. Immaturity. When you understand that your teammates are counting on you to do a job, understand it is not what you do, it's what you are supposed to do. Okay? Points to live by. I'm not going to hit them all, but there's a couple here that I think are really important. Okay? Never compromise your standards. takes 100 years to build an oak tree. It takes 10 minutes to chop it down. Very simple. Think about it. You read about it, not every day, but how bad things can get for a young person just by making the one mistake, and how it takes everything that a group's tried to accomplish and just lessens it. So I think the driving point here is really not about the game of football. It's about protecting the game of football and giving these guys an opportunity to flourish in the game of football. I think that's what we're here for. Cannot fake emotion. If you practice with it, you'll play with it. That's it, simple. You know, and some guys are different. They won't say a word. Some guys a little more vocal than others. That's all good. Just put the tape on and evaluate them. That guy's playing hard. That guy's not. Remember, character is the ability to stand up for the things that are right and say no to the things that are wrong. It's that simple. Again, constantly attacking the off-the-field piece. Put the team first, your unit second, your position group third, and you fourth. You know, and here's the one you challenge them on right there. Because how many guys can't do that? I want mine. I want mine. Okay? Well, your unit gets theirs, you'll get yours. That's what we're shooting for. Garbage in, it's real simple. Garbage out. Go out and practice poorly, poor work ethic, whatever you want to describe it as, that's what's going to come out. Live in the past, die in the present. True story. I swear to God I was on suicide watch after bowl game. I'm joking. I'm joking. But guess what? It's gone. Can't do anything about it. I got guys getting ready to look at me Tuesday morning. I got to have washed it away, and we move on and start over again. A lot to feel good about. Some unfinished business. Just got to move on and do our deal. That's what we're looking for. And I think that's important when you give a guy a chance on a new slate, clean slate, new season. Here it is. Don't judge him by what he did last year, and get your guys to move forward emotionally, maturity-wise, and core value-wise. Guess what? Guys grow up. They change their outlook on life. That's what we're coaching. Okay, every person is entitled to make a mistake, which I tell them all the time. When you make more than one, it becomes a trend. I'm not a big guy with the trendsetters. So, you know, we're not going to keep going down that line. And again, I'm sharing the things that I think are important as we develop our defense. That's what I'm sharing with you. That's very important. And the best ability is dependability. If I know that guy's in that meeting room every day, bang, he's ready to go. He's paying attention, watching the tape. Go out and translate what's been talked about into the practice field. Go to the walkthrough. Get it fixed. All that good stuff. Definition of character. People of character do the right thing because they think it will change the world, but because they refuse to be changed by the world. Okay? Really important. By the way, if anybody likes this at the end, the presentation, I'll make my email available to you, and I'll send you the whole thing. Okay? Okay. Michigan Wolverines player eval. Okay? Effort, energy. That's what success is built on. Attitude. We believe everyone wants to have a great attitude, but some have difficulty establishing the personal plan, ambition, personal habits, and determination that reflect a positive attitude. Every player can develop a great attitude by working at it and never giving in. Again, the struggle continues. Get these guys going in the right direction. Smarts, football smarts. Each player must understand his role and total plan of success. Understand and control situation to give each player an impact on the game. The more a player learns about game situations, the better he will be able to translate, comprehend, and perform. Football smarts. Really important. Getting the guy, giving him all his little clues and his little cues that help him do things. We're going to hopefully get to one here that I do with the linebackers at the end that I thought would be pertinent. Influence. Each player has an influence. Could be positive, could be negative. There's no middle ground. You either one or the other. So that's what we're looking to kind of get going. Make something happen. Everyone should try to be the difference in the game. It's a state of mind. You want to be counted on in clutch situations and be able to perform under the gun. The reality is you must have the will to win. I'll tell you, the will to win is an area that I think we need to pay close attention to moving forward. Because the difference between one team and the next, and you guys know this, is small. So attacking the mind, their spirit, their energy, these are the things that get you over the top. I don't think I've done it enough. I don't think we've attacked this area enough. I think it's an area that you just have to continue to work and work hard at. Okay. General defensive philosophy. No tourists on defense. Nobody gets on the bus for a free ride. Coach has this great line. Hey, no steak eaters on the bus. How about that? So you show up, you get your steak, you get on the bus. Right, Joe? No steak eaters on the bus. You got to earn your steak. And we have a thing that we do that I think is really good. In fact, Elijah, I don't know where he is. He kind of bailed on me. There he is. He handles it. We monitor all reps by every player, every practice. Now, I know that's difficult to do. I'm not saying that's not. But if you're on a scout team and you took 6 reps, steak eater. Okay? So, coach knows everything. He knows how many reps each guy's taken, whether offense, defense, kicking. Now with Peppers, it's all of those. Okay? But if you're the, freshman linebacker and you think you're going to go over there and hang out, that's not happening. Not on a Honda is that happening. Okay? So, really important point. Physical and mental discipline precedes all else. I think that goes all the way back to Dave Wanstead. I think that one goes all the way back to him. Must be on time, play aggressively within the scheme, and exhibit great character in your social life. And again, you see the constant attack on the social piece. Conditioning precedes mental toughness. Conditioning gives you a chance to play hard for 4 quarters. Can't sacrifice speed and conditioning. Paramount in our thinking. Obviously paramount in everybody's thinking. But a huge deal. Because sometimes you get so caught up in reps and this and that you're not conditioning the way you should. Or just make sure during the course of your practice that you're going fast enough that the conditioning piece is at a high rate. I think that's really important. Especially with the advent of all the spread offenses and them trying to go fast, we want to make sure, we want to get to an attitude where we're waiting on them to line up. Simplicity built into the package. We want it basically Easy for us to learn, tough on them. That's in one sentence, that's what I would say. Easy for us, tough on them. Okay? Intensity with integrity in everything we do. We will dominate opponents from whistle to whistle, but we're going to play this game the right way now. We're going to do this thing the right way. We're not cheating. There's no cutting corners. It's all about being all in every day, doing all the things necessary from practice to practice to get yourself ready to compete at a high level. Major teaching points to live by. 66% of success is pre-snap. So that's where we come in. Coaches. Know and understand the call. Recognize the formation. Align properly. All those things, and then you go play. But those right there, those are on us and the players, and that's where the whole thing comes into play. Lining up right. And not just being a robot. Strength, I'm left, line up. You know, being able to make the necessary checks. All right, is it stacks? Is it bunches? Is it rub? Is it Iowa? What is it? All those things, that's our job, the pre-snap stuff. Then the onus is on them to go and go hard. All right, here's my other eyes of the key, then finish. All right, so I won't read this whole thing, but if you look at this paragraph, it's not spelt very well. And it's for a reason. According to an English university study, the order of letters in a word doesn't matter. The only thing that truly important is that the first and last letter of every word is in the correct position. The rest can be jumbled, and one is still able to read the text without difficulty. Okay, so again, eyes. When a play starts, your eyes have to be right. Where's your key? All right, I'm this strong safety. I got my key is the tight end through to the surface area. Okay? In order for your eyes to be right, you must understand the 6 A's: alignment, assignment, adjustment, attack, aggression, and attitude. Again, everything's about attacking. Everything's about attacking the attitude, getting them to develop a mindset of how you're going to go. The rest of each play, series, game, and season is organized chaos for which you can't control. So once we're rolling, stuff happens. And you've got to trust that all the things that we've done with the players, gives us a chance for success. However, the one thing you can control is the speed at which it happens by how you start and how you finish. Everything else in between will take care of itself. And one of the things that I constantly say to the guys, see a little to see a lot. So, what does that mean? Well, I'm this corner, and I'm reading this tight end. He blocks, I pick my eyes up, I'm replacing. He releases, I'm in coverage, I'm arm-barring and squaring him up. See a little to see a lot. If we all do that, then we have a chance for success as an entire group. So really important. And that's my line on that. See a little to see a lot. Because if we're all doing that, then the big picture takes care of itself. Sun Tzu, back to my man. Like so much of success in life, creativity appears to revolve around hard work or knowing our stuff. So, that's the thing you pride yourself on. This comes back to us again. And it integrates the players. Obviously, we work hard. They have to work hard. But it's up to us to make sure they know their stuff. I mean, that's really painful You know, when you look at, all right, they're going to make a flash call here and it's trips, and then all of a sudden you watch the tape and, we didn't make the flash call. You know what I'm talking about. That's painful to a coach. That's our deal. Now I'm going to tell you something. I hope you take this the right way. Don't blame the player. That's on us. That's all I'm saying on that. Don't blame the player. I tell our guys all the time, all your mistakes belong to me, because at the end of the day, that's it. And guess what? We're all big boys in here, right? That's how we make our living. And nobody said it was easy. It's the greatest profession, career that there is. How much? You going to shut me off? So that's my deal there. Team goals. These are the things, and I've underlined the ones that I think are really important, okay? Obviously, you're searching for the W, okay? Now, in some scenarios, and we have them both. We have the 17 points goal, but guess what? Sometimes that don't fit now. You're playing some of those really high-flying outfits. It comes down to creating one more turnover than they score against you. So if they get 3 touchdowns, you have to have 4 takeaways. That's what we're searching for. If they get 5, you got to have 6. So it also gives you an opportunity for a chance to win. So I think both of those goals are kind of important. I love the 17. That's stood the test of time, and I'm a big believer. You do that on a week-to-week basis, you got a shot most every week. Intercept 1 of 15 passes, not easy. Not easy to do. You can get that done, you're moving. I actually am on the process of maybe evaluating and going to 1 of 20, but I have a hard time doing that. Because I think 1 of 15 is a definite helps you lead to victory. No runs over 20, no rushing TDs in the red zone. So that doesn't mean we want to give up scores in the red zone, but don't let them run the ball in against you. And our play calling is going to dictate they're not running the ball in, or they're going to do it against the tough box. That's all I'm saying. Hold opponents to 3.3 per carry or 99 yards. You know, it really comes down to the 3.3, but 99 is a good number. Usually works pretty good. But if you can be under 3.3, you got a good year ahead of you. No passes over 25. We're talking about explosives. Stop 70% of 3rd and 4th down plays. That one right there, you can see the old underline right there, right? Big now. We were really good here. Score or set up a score. Looking for that every week. Looking for it every week. Some teams are great. Alabama, wow, they were rolling that number out the other night. I was like, wow, that's special. 3rd quarter shutout, as I mentioned, coming out of the locker room. You know, I'll go through all these and I'll tell them why this one's important. No defensive penalties. We've done it. We did it like 4 times this year, Joe. 4? Somewhere in there. That's pretty good. Hard to do now, especially when you're playing as much press coverage as we are. Wreck the decision maker. That's the quarterback. We're looking for 7 or more knockdowns per game. 7 or more. This year we got into, there were 2 games that were 23. It's hard to throw the ball from the seat of your pants. That's all I'm saying. So that's what we're looking to do. You may not be able to get sacks, but get them on the ground. And hey, this is not about intent to injure. It's about getting them out of rhythm so they're not just boop, 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 boop. Hey, us defensive guys, we're fighting for our life every day to stop these guys. So that's a big deal. Tackling with relentless passion. Get everyone to the ball. And again, I go through this whole thing about traitors. If you're not running the ball, you're a traitor. Might as well go play for the other team. If you're not running, you're a traitor. So, you just hit them with the dot. Traitor. Traitor. Hold opponents to 40% TD ratio in the red zone. And this has been up here for me as long as I can remember. 36 sacks over the course of the regular season. This year, 46. That's a lot. That's a lot. We had a great front, and obviously then you mix in the pressures. Those things are pretty good. Okay. With organization comes success. So if you're organized and you have a plan, you've got a chance for success. With success comes confidence. Now you start feeling pretty good about yourself. Players start feeling good about themselves. And with confidence, you're on your own, baby. The players take care of it. And that's the piece you're getting to go to right there. So all you got to do is worry about coaching them, providing the direction, and just letting them roll. But here's my, if you were asking me, my 3-tiered CEO deal, which I am so far away from being a CEO. So far. I'm a ball coach. But those 3 things I think are really important. Okay. I'm going to go through this. This is our, the things that we really hang our hat on. How much time do I got? 5 minutes. Wow. Stop the run. Develop structure to stop the run and stick with it. This gives your players an opportunity to play fast and play confident. So, whatever structure you're going to run, out of your 4 down, your 3 down, whatever, settle on it and roll. Make sure it's sound, make sure you've got tempo answers, and keep it rolling. You must involve 11 defenders in the run game. The DBs, they're in the back there all, hey, yeah, coach, we're going to play press coverage, we're going to do this. Wait a minute. Okay? That guy blocks, you best be replacing. Okay? You're off a tight end and you got the nub and you're playing the nub tight end, you have a fit. You best get your hands dirty. I am not nice about it. It's all 11 guys defend the run. All 11 guys defend the pass. I don't care how you do it, but you got to have overhangs built into your defense. You can't ask the defensive end, hey, yeah, go close down there, take the air out, and you got the quarterback. Come on, dude. You can't do that. Somebody's got to be helping this guy. So I don't care what your support structure is, whether it's man-free, whether it's cover 2. You've got to have overhangs and help so that your defensive players can have confidence and know where their help is coming from. That's all I'm saying. Have a way to spin or travel versus motion to create overhang. So, the tight end's off the ball. They're going to run split zone. That guy's going to come back, and he's going to block the defensive end. How are you going to handle it? Are you going to travel over there to get the extra guy? Are you going to spin? I don't care what you do, but you better do something, or you better move the backers. Now, I'm not a big fan of moving the backers. So here's my deal. I got 3 guys going, and they're not falling off a hard surface like one guy telling them to do it. I got a real problem with that. I would much rather spin the secondary or travel with the motion than 2 guys go, I know what gap I got, and I'm going to go punch it and stun the gap. And then the defensive tackle's like, thank you very much for getting the 600 pounds off me. Okay? Be fundamental in your approach, but also have tempo changes built into your run defense. Guys, I got to tell you, I'm going to solve the run game with half as much pressure as I am in the bases. You can't just be, and then they're running zone read on you. You got to have the ability to play the game in the backfield. That's all I'm saying. In the pass game, make them earn it. No free access. Make them earn every single throw in the pass game. I don't care. Have the ability in your coverage schemes, because we play a lot of 2-trap. Everybody knows it. Put the tape on. There it is. But we'll play press out of it, so you're going, is it or isn't it? So have the ability to take away all the easy throws or make every throw difficult. This allows you to focus on technique and fundamentals. Now, this is where we spend time. Stacks, bunches, motion adjustments. We're doing that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's what we're working on. Have a way to pass all mesh routes. You know, those guys are smart now. They're going to start doing this. You got to have a way to pass those mesh routes. You know, we're big, hey, you got everything up, you got everything out, and pass the crossers. Well, that's got to tie into the backers, you know, the safeties, and in some respects, the corners. But figure it out, because it's important. We're a package team. What does that mean? Share the workload by involving players with specific strengths to do specific jobs. Okay. I got Chase Winovich. Joe coaches him. Holy heck, if you put him in there on first down, you might hold your breath. Might. He's gotten a lot better. Love him to death. But you put him in there on third down? Watch out now. Good music. Watch out. So let him do things he's good at. Again, then that gives him a chance to, I'm good. And then you can incorporate the rest of the piece. So that's what we're looking for. This allows you to put more players in the game. We'll play 3 safeties. We'll play the nickel. That's 3 corners. We'll play the 4 linebackers. We'll play 2 down with the 2 cheetahs. Well, what's a cheetah? I don't know. It's just the guy that goes in and rushes the passer from a designated spot that we put him in to cover. Viper personnel. This has become a big change for us. We got Jabril Peppers. Well, we're a little thin on the outside linebacker, so we'll just make Peppers in. But then we made him the 3rd safety. Then we're making him the nickel corner. So he can play anywhere. Nice thing, same people on the field, a lot of different fronts and stuff. So it was a good piece for us. So it allows you to show multiple looks with the same people on the field. And then your last point here is get off the field on third down. Third down success is critical. We need to get off the field as fast as we can. Use it all. 4 down, 3 down, exotics, whatever you got to do, but you better spend time on that down. Put your money on that down. Get off the field. Spend a lot of time in preparation for it. Now, here's my little deal. Make sure that you have a minimum of 12 options at your disposal. So I take that game plan sheet and I go, and I color in 12 dots. And I just start rolling based on who's on the field. So that's my deal on that. Meeting and practice structure. Real quick, always start meetings together. Get your unit together. Don't get them off in each other's rooms. Get on the same page. Then go ahead and attack the rest of it. All adjustments will be shown to entire defense. First show the adjustment through drawings, then show the plays, and then go from there. All new concepts is presented. Anything that we're doing in that game plan on, we're not waiting until Wednesday to show. We're showing on Tuesday. Anything new. Get it in there so you can get a couple, get some extra reps on it. Have a plan for the week. Tuesday, first, second down. Just giving you a couple examples. Your top 5 runs, your top 5 passes, short yardage. Wednesday, third down. Red zone, every day. Guess what? Situational football, it's the most important. Third down and red zone. Really big. Get multiple units prepared. Don't just get 11 and 12 guys prepared. Get multiple units prepared. We do it through the rock. This is Coach Harbaugh's big deal. Rehearsal of combat knowledge. How cool is that? That's awesome. So that's what we do. We start every practice with that. We rotate every 5 plays. We get the 1s in there. We get the 2s in there. And we just keep rolling them through. Never know when it's going to happen. We go to the bowl game the Thursday before. Jabril Peppers pulls his hamstring, of which I immediately fell to the ground, stood back up, and we went to a youngster who ended up doing a good job for us. So you got to have them ready. You never know when it's going to come, and try to get them playing. Split up the front 7 in the secondary for adjustment period. We do this every week. Secondary works on bunches, stacks, motions. We involve the Vipers. We involve the Sams, the outside linebacker. That's kind of the hybrid. Okay? Preparation of this scenario is paramount in our thinking, and Coach lets us start doing it day 2. We saw 24 bunch snaps on the day 2 of practice. That's unbelievable, and he did it for the defense. Relationships. Again, I said it before, between coaches and players, coaches and coaches, is vital to success. At the end of the day, this is still about the development of young people. At the end of the day, that's still what we're talking about. Am I out? Where are you? I'm out. You sure? Guys are bumped. All right. I was going to show you this, but this is stun. We're working on tear drill. And there he is right there. There's the group right there. Guys, it was a blast. Thanks a lot. I appreciate your time.